What's up, guys? It's Luke, and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I just got back from Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms draft at my local card store. The past couple weeks, we've been doing the mystery boosters, which was amazing, but it's fun to go back to Dungeons & Dragons because I play a lot of Dungeons & Dragons on Arena, and, you know, playing in person is just a different experience that I love. And I love the set, at least playing it. Maybe value-wise, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's a fun set to be a part of. So I'm going to talk about the deck. This deck went 2-1. I was very happy with this deck. Well, I wasn't very happy with this deck. I got to take that back a little bit. I did well with this deck, as well as I thought I could, but it ended up being red-white, so Boros, equipment, but it didn't have Bruenor, who I was looking for. And so I always felt it was a little lacking. And then in the 11th hour of the draft, third pack, I pull this ridiculous card off color, and then I just had to put it in. So let's talk about the draft a little bit. This is the draft deck I have. Took out all the lands. We have a dungeon map. So there was one time I misplayed this card. I should have played it on an earlier turn because it does give you that colorless mana, which would have been useful for me. But I messed up, and that's my fault. But Dungeon Map is kind of neat because, you know, if you have extra mana left over, you can always use it to venture into the dungeon, which is a lot of fun to do. A lot of bonuses there in the dungeon for you to get. And so, otherwise, it does help you just get colorless mana. So this card did okay for me. Nothing too crazy with this card. Now, my initial plan was to go Boros, white and red. I ended up not really doing that. I ended up going 3 colors. But Plundering Barbarian was a must because of the treasure tokens it could possibly make for me. Because treasure could splash in colors and can also destroy an artifact, which could have come in handy. Didn't really do that. Plundering Barbarian only came in once and actually didn't use the treasure, so it wasn't really that useful. Armory Veteran I put in just because this was going to be a Boros equipment deck, and I'll show you why. Never really came to fruition, but it's okay, because I did pretty well with what I had. +2 Mace, never really did anything. I don't even think I drew this card. You hear something on watch. I had this a few times, and just waiting to use it. Didn't really get a chance to use it too much, maybe just once in all the games that I played tonight. It's a good removal card. I mean, that's for sure. Only 2 takes out 5 damage on attacking creature, so not bad. Half-Elf Monk was okay, kept me alive in the games that I lost, but when you're just on the defense so hard, man, that's not good. Sepulchre Ghoul. Now, I wasn't going to be in black, but I ended up being in black because of a card that I'll show you later. And the good thing is I actually had a few black cards that came into, you know, my pool that I picked out of the draft, and so I just put them in, and they actually were game changers for me. Sepulchre Ghoul was great, hit the board a lot, turned into like a 4/3 creature, which was helpful. Good value from him. Feign Death also came in handy once, only cost 1 black. And then this guy, the Baleful Beholder, came in a couple times, and used the sacrifice an enchantment ability to get rid of a barbarian class, which was really, really nice. Very cool. So I really liked getting Baleful Beholder. The Goblin Morningstar, this came into play a lot. I always drew this card either quickly or it was in the opening hand. And so I felt like the Goblin Morningstar gave me some good value. We got 2 Arborea Pegasuses, which was really neat. They did a good job for me as well. I really like their ability to just give another creature +1/+1 and flying till the end of turn. I'll show you which creature I particularly had that always got flying and did a good amount of damage. So Arborea Pegasus was really a good card for me, and I like that I got both of these in the showcase frame. Ranger's Hawk, you know, it's a 1-drop, 1/1 flyer. Did what it needed to do. It pecked away at the beginning of the game, and it was really useful for that. I was hoping it would carry some equipment to, get some more damage in, and it did. I think it was carrying around the Morningstar at one point, but at that point it was only like a to, 2-1, but, every bit of damage counts in this game. Planar Ally, it's a 5-drop. Actually, I didn't get Planar Ally down on the board that often, maybe once. Didn't make a huge difference in the game for me. Usually I think Planar Ally does a little bit more. Not this time. Steadfast Paladin was helpful a lot. This guy, 2/2 for 2 with lifelink, was great. A lot of value off this guy, just getting those bits of life from him. Now, this is the card that made me want to go into the equipment deck, but funnily enough, this card never hit the board at all tonight. It was Fighter Class. Never got it onto the board. So to me, that was a little sad. I was looking for Bruner, who would be another great piece for Boros equipment, but that he wasn't in any of the packs in the entire draft. Never saw him. Didn't see anyone with him. So that was just a bummer. Dancing Sword. So Fighter Class was in my first pack, and I was like, I don't know, Boros equipment, that might be okay. It's not like the deck I really want to play. I took it because it was a foil rare, and maybe it might be okay. Get a Bruner and get a bunch of cool equipment stuff, and you can win some quick games that way. And then I got a Dancing Sword, which was pretty awesome. But, not but, I don't even say but yeah, those two just made me say, okay, white, red equipment, there we go. That's what we're doing. And Dancing Sword was actually really nice. Really, really good. Here's the bomb card that I got that made me go black. I was going to go pure white-red Boros. But I put black in because I pulled a Westgate Regent in my last... Not my last pack. In the last pack. First pick in the last pack. And I just love the Westgate Regent. It's one of my favorites. And I won a game with Westgate Regent, but not mine. Not mine. And I'm going to tell you about that when I get to the one of the last cards. But scary guy to hit the board. Love Westgate Regent. Can win you the game in 2 or 3 turns, really. Dwarfold Champion. Guess what? I drafted 3 of them. So, and there was one game where I just got them all down in the first 3 turns, and that was kind of nuts. The opponent didn't have anything down and could not deal with the 3 damage that they were taking each time. So even without the extra equipment tacked on, this guy was brutal for me. And then oftentimes we had some with equipment, and they did even better, obviously. Turned out to be a 5/4 most of the time, which was great. And you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, Price of Loyalty, I actually drafted all the Price of Loyalties I found. I found 3, took them all, and played 2 in the deck. This card won me the game by just stealing creatures. So, one of the 2 memorable usages of this card. So, for one, I was going to lose my first game. I was just going to straight up lose. I think we had it was 5 to 6 life left. I had 5, he had 6. And I top decked a Price of Loyalty. I had a flyer, and he had a red dragon sitting there blocking my flyer. But I stole the red dragon. He had no response. I hit with that and my Pegasus, and it was game over. The only way I would have won at all was by this card, and I drew it. I was not expecting to get this card whatsoever. I usually don't get this sort of a draw, but it was amazing and won the game. So that was story number 1, game 1. And then to bookend it, the last game in the tournament for me was a game 3 in the 3rd round, and the guy had a Westgate Regent. So they pulled a Westgate Regent, not the foil one, but just the regular rare Westgate Regent. And he's like, you know what this does? I'm like, I know what that does. And so I let the Westgate Regent hit me. It got up to 8 power. And then let him hit me again. So it was at 16. And then I Price of Loyalty'd it and won the game by hitting him once. He already had taken some damage. I asked him, do you have any response to this? And the answer was no. I used his Westgate Regent to deal 16 damage, plus the damage he already had gotten, and it was game over. So I felt kind of bad because I thought I knew he thought he had won the game. I knew he's like, okay, he can't deal with this Westgate Regent. There's nothing he has. But I was holding the price of loyalty for like turns and turns and turns. So those are the kind of fun stories you get to tell and play, and it was fun. It was fun, and I'm glad it worked. One time in a tournament, I did this, and they had a counterspell, and I was like, ugh, lost the game. But those are kind of the things that happen. All right, here are the other cards I got. They gave out a Bolas Citadel, which is cool. A promo card, just for attending the tournament. I was going to really use Faraday's Fireball more, but I ended up going into black, and I think it was the right choice. Tiger Tribe Hunter, I also got. Earth Cult Elemental, that's a great card. Battle Cry Goblin, that's really good. And there's a third price of loyalty. Rust Monster, Jaded Sellsword, Valor Singer, come to a Null Camp, and then these were the other cards I just didn't end up using really at all. So I think I made the right choice by hitting into those black swamp cards. I missed out on all this. I don't know, maybe this would have done well, but there was not a lot of goblins. I didn't get goblins, so I don't know. Battle Cry Goblin would have done that well. Earth Cult Elemental, I think, would have been good, but he's not flying. I saw a lot of dragons out today. The Fireball would have been pretty good, but I'm always wary of this card because of its high cost, and it can hit you. So that's no fun if it hits you. Anyways, we had our pick. We would get a pack for every win we got, and any kind of booster draft from the recent sets. I picked Kaldheim because I've been opening up a lot of Kaldheim, and I like Kaldheim. So let's see what we get as prizes. All right. Got a Zombie Berserker token, Woodland Chasm, and oh, right off the get-go, Rise of the Dread Marn is the rare from that pack. Let's see what else we get. Fall of the Imposter, Ruin of Flight. I'm so used to having them at the end. The Squash, Run Ashore, Iron Verdict. Hey, some good cards here for limited. Wings of the Cosmos, Grizzled Outrider, Elderfang Disciple, Goldvein Pick, Tuscary Firewalker, Giant Ox, Carfell Harbinger. Okay, and let's see what the other pack has. Right at the beginning, huh? So, Battle for Bredagard. I'm not really familiar a lot with the sagas, so let me know if that's a good one or not. And we'll just kind of breeze through the other ones. All right, there we are. Okay, so what was it? Yeah, that was the tournament. Went 2-1. I'm really glad I came back home with this. This was just a fun card to keep. I just love the Westgate Regent. I love the mechanics of the Westgate Regent. I mean, I know once this guy hits the board, people are going to try to gun after him and go after him. I mean, if you don't, you're dead. But he's just so fun to have and play with. So thanks for watching. He won me the game. Not this one, but my opponent's. I'll see you next time.